Superintendent Brent Barry of the Phoenix Talent Schools had a bit more to do for the 2020 school year than in previous years.
Our whole state was moving to a distance learning model come September when we opened, so we immediately shifted into ensuring we had technology.
Everyone was going to need laptops, so we're going to need Google Chromebook, finding enough hotspots.
He was instrumental in especially helping families of diversity and financial struggle so that they had equal opportunity to learn.
He just does the right thing. It could be the hardest thing to do, but if it's the right thing, he's going to do it. And what I appreciate about Brent is that he will seek out those that are traditionally underheard.
I think Brent Barry, again, led the district really well in the sense that he provided hope and optimism that we would be back in person at least half-time, and that we will move on, we'll cope with it.
And a brand new state-of-the-art high school.
And functional, beautiful, windows everywhere, CTE classes and classrooms.
September 8th, the day before school started, the Almeda Fire devastated most of the community.
Fire came in. It took out, in total in our community, 2,500 homes, the homes of 700 school children. But 1,500 of those 2,500 were in manufactured home parks. So these were families that were already, on the edge, and in many cases, lower income, struggling to maintain themselves within the community. And then the home, the place where they've taken shelter, is immediately wiped off the map along with every one of their possessions.
They lost everything overnight. That's just incredibly, heartbreaking.
I drove out to the evacuation site and noticed that we had a lot of our families there.
But it was Brent Barry and his staff that stepped up, accounting for 100% of the district's families and providing assistance to the families who'd lost everything.
That's when the school district really has stepped in to find those people, figure out what they need, help them stabilize.
We got it done in a few hours. They went into the night, and that's just how our staff responded, because that's what our leader was doing, just calmly doing the next thing.
As we connected with our kids and our families, we would ask where they were, if their basic needs were being met, if they had, shelter or in a safe space, food, medicines.
After setting up a command center at Orchard Elementary, he began efforts to get collections taken, donations of food and clothes. But Brent Barry said it was his staff that really stepped up.
They were there in the moment of crisis. And they were also on the phone at that moment, calling across that school district and identifying and figuring out where the families were that had been displaced, figuring out how they were, asking them what they needed.
As for the new state-of-the-art high school?
And at that time, I didn't know if Phoenix High School was still standing, and just with exhaustion, tears, just an emotional response said we saved it. So chills, I still get chills.
Brent just has a presence about him where he is honest and an open communicator, but he always seems to find the positive side of things. And he was out there right with us. And, when you have a time of uncertainty, we all look to our leader and see what he's doing. And, it's the words that he says, but it's also his actions. And he just motivated us to keep going and to know that the work that we were doing was important, even though it was hard.
So that was just the first few days. And then after that, they just stepped up in every conceivable way. Started raising money. They raised more than $1 million, which they handed out directly to benefit children and families. They participated in every community conversation that I was a part of about how to house people, how to take care of people.
50 travel trailers brought in to give the homeless a home while putting the pieces back together.
They were phenomenal in every way, and it really reflects the leadership that they have at the top, being Superintendent Barry.
We need to make sure our basic needs are met, and we need to make sure people are being housed. We need to make sure people are being fed. We need to make sure people can connect with their friends and their teachers. That's really was pretty inspiring to see. That's not Brent Barry. That's our team just really kind of stepping up. Every time I left Orchard Hill in the evening, I just thought, it's pretty remarkable. We turned into a, crisis relief, and we're educators that, the only qualification is just having, care and compassion, so.
Brent Barry, who not only had to keep a school district intact in extreme devastation, but also helped bring a community back together.